Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forged Lines Forever. Today, I have a 5v5 custom match here on the most amazing Roxas map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. Starting off with Team 1 in the north, and ending with Team 2 in the south. Starting off with Team 1's eastern player, then working our way westward, we have in lightish red pink, Team 1's Vist. He is an 1800 as an Aeon. We have in Snow White to his west, Zelby Lycop. He is a Cybern for this match as a 1600. In Stage Blue to his west, another Aeon for Team 1. It is Gamer9 Triple X. He is a 1500. In Rust, moving on westward, we have Pashok Ro. I'm probably going to call him Pashok, something like that. He is a Seraphim for this match as a 1300. And last but not least for Team 1, as the highest rated player on Team 1 and tied for the highest overall, it is Telemazer. He is sporting the Cybern faction, so maybe we will see him go Telemazer. Maybe he won't. Maybe it's a fake out for his opponents. He is a 1900 in Pac-Man yellow. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have 2 Aeon, 2 Cybern, and 1 Seraphim. No UEF for Team 1. Starting off with Team 2's western player, then working our way eastward, we have in glow-in-the-dark green, Team 2's Chicken O Picket. I still cannot pronounce the last half of his name. He is Chicken. I've casted him before. Pretty much most people know who he is. He is an 1800 as an Aeon. To his east, we have in Regal Purple, it is RNA as a Seraphim as a 1600. In orange, the color orange, in the middle of Team 2's lineup, we have Hank the Wank Tank. He is a Cybern for this match as a 1600 and does get the vote for me for the funny name of the cast. We have in Light Oak Tan to his east, LCR as a Cybern as well as a 1000 rated player. And Team 2's highest rated player and tied with Telemazer for the highest rated player overall. And Ruby Red is the Aeon player of Nasimka at 1900. So for Team 2's side of the map, they also have 2 Cyberns and 2 Aeon and 1 Seraphim. So it is an exact same lineup here. 2 Cyberns, 2 Aeon, 1 Seraphim, which unfortunately means there are no UEF players. Apologies to those loyal to the old Earth Empire. Hopefully you will enjoy the game nonetheless. And for 10 players on the map here, we've seen some decent rocks here near our players' main bases. But what is the total mass and reclaim? Currently sitting at 200,000 plus mass, 233,000 to be roughly exact, before our players started scooping, well, a decent chunk of it up. And it is everywhere. There is a chunk of mass in the middle of the map, as it should be. 7,000, 7,000, 7,000, 7,000. And a lot of big numbers. 5,000, another 5,000, 5,000s. Everyone gets mass here in this game. 10 players, over 23,000 mass per player. And with ratings from 1,300, actually, anyway, 1,000 to 1,900, our players definitely going to know where that mass is going to go in their coffers, throwing at their opponents, and scaling ecos. We do see that there is movement here from both teams for players. But before we do that, we're going to go over the mass locations in terms of mexes. There's a couple of mexes here on this upper plateau here. We're looking at Team 1 side of the map, be specific. Trimex position here next to a decent chunk of rocks here for Gamer9. And then a nice little Trimex to the east here for Zelby over there. And no real mexes here on this eastern side, but besides just a tiny little mex over there and another one west of that. In the middle of the map, there's an upper plateau with a decent amount of mexes there, but not really a terrible amount. And with that, that's pretty much the mexes. Oh, there is this northwestern corner. It does kind of look like you could have put another player here. I think players started off with 3 mexes in their main base, so it definitely looks like you could put a third one. I mean, yeah, you could probably put a third one right there. That'd be your 3 mexes there. But with that out of the way, there is a drop that happened from Vist going to the southeast over here. Nasimka has encountered it. T1 PD has been built. Second PD almost online, with the second one online that will force the comm of Nasimka back. LCR coming in to assist as well, but it's going to be a little bit of a hill to climb on that upper plateau. We do see in the west, Team 1's western player Telemazer building out his plateau section, and a little bit of movement from the middle for Hank the Wank Tank, moving in to cut off any sort of reinforcements between Gamer9 and, now I was going to say Tracer, but Telemazer to the west. Team 2's player of Chicken did get a nice little base up here to the upper plateau. Same thing here with Hank the Wank Tank. So 2 players going for a little bit of a drop down up there to be able to secure that upper plateau quite nicely. And it does look like this position will be destroyed here for Team 1's Vist. Bombers inbound to take out some PD and, of course, at least damage the PD in terms of hit points for the most part. And then, of course, the comms for Nasimka and LCR finishing this position off. Nasimka did get a ranking veterancy out of this. LCR is about a little bit under halfway towards his, so he's going to definitely appreciate that progress for both of that. Another drop possible inbound here for Vist going after this set of reclaim, dropping off just one engineer and probably just doing a order, not a distance build, but a order to just reclaim attack move. That's the word for it. There it is. And then we do see T1 factories being spammed up over there as well. Not really a lot of movement from a lot of players here. We see one on Team 2, that being RNA, still in his main base. Maybe he's going to be the air player. He is at T2 air, so it does look like he's going to be the air player. I thought it'd be the corner, but I guess not. I guess there's a little bit of land over here, so that does make a little bit more sense in that regard. We have in the north, Team 1 also has T2 air online, but a second player has gone T2 air, and that is, of course, Vis. So 2 air players for Team 1. Actually, excuse me, 3 air players so far here for Team 1. But I'm going to call him Ro for short, I think, at this point. Ro, he's at T2 air as well. So 3 players on Team 1 going for T3 or T2 air at a minimum, maybe T3 air. But that's going to be huge, especially for this map, which just has a lot of choke points and very difficult terrain. I mean, there's water everywhere, kind of just shotgunned around the map. There's plateaus here. There are kind of ramps up and down throughout the middle of the map, but very tight corridors all around. So it's going to be very difficult to get large land armies around the map. So land might take a backseat to the air department. Maybe we'll see some cruiser missiles from somebody on either team in these little ponds here, but I highly doubt it, considering these are isolated. You really can't traverse them with any sort of cruisers, but you could traverse them with Salem destroyers, which we may or may not see. There are some Cybers in this game, so we might see that strategy, but I highly doubt it, but it is obviously a possibility. Speed has been started to hit for Nasimka. T2 has been started for Gamer 9. 1 offense, 1 defensive upgrade here on the east. 1 offensive upgrade here for Hank the Wank Tank in the middle. T3 land online here in the back line here for Mazer, and he also has a T2 land facility for engineers up on the front line as well, so able to cut down on travel time for the reclaiming of engineers. Couple of hover tanks over here to the west here from Team 2's Chicken. Has a couple of Blazes and 1 Aurora remaining. Don't think that Aurora is long for this world. So those Blazes may take out a couple of engineers. Maybe they'll get a Mex or 2. They've already been kind of the recipients of some damage. They'll take out a radar at a minimum, which will be nice, but that's kind of the end, for the most part, of that incursion. Range halfway done here for Nasimka in the east, and stealth has been started for Hank the Wank Tank. His upgrade's going pretty quickly here. He's already at 40% and above for that stealth upgrade. It is at +1, but still doing very well at keeping that back. We do see that there's a little bit of a drop here from Team 1's Rust player of Row, and I don't think that's going to get any work done, just because Team 2 has claimed that for a while and they've really dug in deep. Tactical missile launcher in the middle of the map. Love to see that here from Chicken going after T2 Mexes. That's going to be a nice little kill there. He may even launch a missile in time to get that one as well. With that TMD, that is TMD here for Gamer 9. So that frontline facility here for him will be safe for the time being. We do see that Team 2's Western player of Chicken has actually moved up to this plateau section and making sure there's no possible run-bys for Team 1 on that western edge. We do see that also Gamer 9 has pushed in a little bit further to the middle, but again, not really trying to claim that upper plateau that his teammate of Vis tried to go after. But T3 air definitely should be on the minds here for these players here in the north. Vis has T3 air. Team 1, Zelby has T3 air as well, and T3 air is coming online for Rose, so 3 air players for Team 1. Huge investment. They are going to suffer on the land side of things, as we kind of see in the middle and kind of on the east. There's no contest here in the east against Nasimka, and that might start to be worrisome for, well, both sides of things, because Team 1's not going to have any sort of defenses besides some gunships against land. And for the air side of things, Nasimka, I mean, yeah, he has the land situation pretty well covered, but not looking well if there's just a bunch of strat bombers or gunships that come in over the east and kind of wipe him out. So he has to be very careful if he doesn't transition into air, or at least get some sort of air defenses online. That could be a steamroll opportunity for Team 1, specifically having 3 air players. Team 2, I don't see any additional air players as of yet. Still only for RNA. Everybody else has gone for land. Maybe there's conversations in chat about that or not. I don't know. I don't see much. Maybe they're on comms. I see some conversations, not too much. But maybe it's one of those like 4 players are in comms or something and one of them isn't. So some messaging has to be done. But for the most part, it's all... I don't know. I don't know the situation of the game, of course. A couple of bricks online guarding the entrance here for this wall section. We do see that in the east, the naval attempt has been thwarted by Team 2. I love the attempt. Didn't really go anywhere, unfortunately, but would have loved to see those Salems run around the map. Especially not having any UEF. Having those units that defy the general conventions of just having a giant ship walk on land is very entertaining to me. And a nice little thing to look at and talk about. We do see that Hank the Wing Tank has gun and nano on board and is tickle canning these bricks. That brick does go down. The other brick will get out of range, but unfortunately his brother did not act on his feet quick enough to survive. In the west, I mean, still Team 1 with only 2 land players has done very well at keeping Team 2 at bay. Team 2 is scaling their egos a little bit more than Team 1 is, due to the fact that, of course, Team 1 is focused on production for the most part in air. So Team 2 can fight back in that regard if they need to, getting some AA online, but they have to actually get the AA online, which may be an issue if they don't act soon enough. ASFs are starting to stack up here for Team 1's white player of Zelby, Snow White player, I should say. And we do see in the northeast air grid being expanded upon a little bit more. Gunships starting to be built as well. Looks like it's mainly just T2, but we could see some of those restorers. But he's just going for more attack, or not attack, but the cheaper T2 gunship versus the more expensive T3 variety. In the west, a couple of bricks thwarting some engineers, cooping up reclaim here for Team 2's RNA. And now we see that Chicken has a nice little firebase online, some PD, TMD. I don't see much AA in the mix. I hear some flak, but that's mobile. Would have loved to see maybe a stationary flak emplacement or something like that. Does look like there is a land battle starting to brew in here. Team 1's Gamer9 has fled back to his frontline position right here. His PD emplacement doesn't really last that much longer due to his evacuation efforts. And again, like I'm saying, as much as Team 2 has had kind of just a 4v2 in the land game, Team 1 has done a very good job of keeping Team 2 at bay. Mass incomes, though, really starting to favor Team 2, though. 1.1k versus 800, almost 900. So a 200 mass per second in advantage. T2 air has been built here for Chicken. Maybe he'll go straight for T3. Air grid being expanded upon, and ARAS has been started here for RNA. T3 land being expanded upon as well as we speak. And some Mats Fabs as well. T2 air online for Nasimka. So there is some transition into the T3 air stages for a couple of these players for Team 2 to counter Team 1. A couple of Harbingers moving, going after TMD and some mexes. That mex was almost on a upgrade. Oh, doesn't get destroyed. Very unfortunate if he doesn't go back to destroy that mex, because it's going to upgrade the T3, and never mind, it gets there anyways. A couple of tickle cannons trying to keep these Harbingers at bay aren't doing that well. And that shield about to regen. Will he regen before the shield? No, barely though, but is thwarted by the gunships from Zelby. ASF's coming in to shield said gunships. And where did those gunships go for Team 1? Looks like they went over here going for a snipe on Chicken, and as I scroll in, there he goes. Team 2 suffers the first loss of the game, and that is Chicken O. Pifficus? I mean, it's Pifficus. Yeah, maybe it is Pifficus. Anyway, that is now a 5v4 in favor of the northern team of Team 1. Sniped by Vist. Great grab there. He didn't have a lot of AA protection. Went for the kill. Lost all the gunships, though, but he'll definitely appreciate the kill nonetheless. Team 2's RNA does receive that base to the west, though. So now the air player, the mainline air player for Team 2, has 2 bases, and Team 2 has been in the lead for mass for a while, so that may not have been a good move. We will see how the game progresses in that regard. Giving an air player double base when he really needed more production is to counter Team 1's production. Like I said, may not be the best move. Team 1 can't know everything that Team 2 is doing, of course, because it's just impossible. Same thing the other way around. We have the benefit of knowing everything at all times and being able to pause and, of course, not being able to rewind, which would be amazing, by the way. But I don't know if that'll ever be a feature. It would be a nice feature, but I don't think it'll ever be implemented because it would just be a caster kind of thing. We do see that Team 1's Gamer9 has now claimed the upper plateau, taking it away from Team 2. A couple of Harbingers are going to get outnumbered quite significantly by the ones from Gamer9. Gunships inbound. Once again, ASF's guarding the way. There are some gunships also online for Zelby, so gunship for Team 1. They're just using their air power to great avail. Still the mass discrepancy. Team 2, 1.3k versus not even 1,000 yet. Most of those gunships are wiped out, and the ASFs for Team 2 will give chase to Team 1's. They do get away, but the remaining gunships are still sitting there and get destroyed. And the land situation for both teams kind of just dissipating. You see that there's a little bit of out creeping here from the Western player of Telemazer, a little bit pushed down the middle here, but the middle is just gone. ASF's inbound for those transports. Those Harbingers may want to try to evacuate, but they are now pretty much stuck. They are all stuck up there. So now they just can't really do much. They'll just secure it, but they can reclaim, but that's really about it. They can't do much besides that. They don't have any AA protection or nothing. Oh, sitting your ASFs up there, not the best idea, though. One ASF knocked out. Another ASF almost gets knocked out. So not terrible losses, but still a loss nonetheless. Advanced range coming online here for Nasimka. He has the regular shield on board. He'll probably go for the the shield heavy possibly here shortly, but maybe not. Just wants to be able to fight back a little bit more. More gunships to the east get wiped out by interceptors from Hank the Wink Tank. He has T3 air online now, so there are 2 air players possibly, and possibly a third one, but going for transports to ferry units across the map. We do see a decent land army to the west here for Telemazer. Does have a monkey online as well. Before 20 minutes, that's a pretty quick monkey. Team 2 doesn't really have that many defenders over here. There are some Harbingers and some sniper bots as well, and gunships to boot as well. So it's not going to be an easy land win, especially now that Team 2 not necessarily has air control, but does have a decent chunk of ASFs as well. Calm transports to the top, going after the Harbingers. Very risky play, of course, but with the Harbingers dropped off as well from the Simca, that will definitely help secure the upper plateau. Once again, it was a calculated risk to say the least, but it was a risk worth taking, and he'll at least claim 2 of those 4 mexes. Once again, those Harbingers trying to get to the edge of that plateau, but are not able to escape the wrath of Nasimka. ASF's moving in here from Team 1's row, and there are strat bombers inbound. That might be a kill. Transport might get taken out. Airfight going to happen maybe here soon, and that Calm is not going to feel good. He does, of course, have 4,000 hit points in shield to play with, but that's 1 bomb, 2 bombs. His shield is gone. Transport trying to shield, doesn't successfully do so. ASFs come in, take out the bomber, so no second pass. An ASF fight will occur once again. Team 1, if they pour all of their effort in this, maybe they'll take out Nasimka and drop this game to a 5v3, but unfortunately the gunships were not ready, and there already are interceptors and ASFs nearby to protect that comm of Nasimka. And he's probably going to be like, get me out of here. I don't want to stay on this upper plateau anymore. I don't blame him in that regard. 1 Harbinger remains, trying to use his environment to shield himself, but unfortunately not really going to bode well here for them. Harbingers are gone over here. There were Harbingers over here. Oh, they're down here. Colossus now done for RNA. 21 minutes roughly. So it's going to be able to shoo away that Monkey Lord that is over here. Looks like it's moving eastward, possibly for this position. Lots of PD, couple of artillery, couple being 1. And decent amount more PD and TMD. So Hank the Wing Tank just went full fire base, 1 shield, 1 nice little trebuchet there for his teammate of LCR, and then called it good. So that'll just be an annoying emplacement, not necessarily a game-winning move one way or the other. We do see attack does commence on the land side of things here for both teams. The Simca attacking Gamer9's facility. Most of the frontline PD are knocked out. Wall section doesn't provide that much coverage. Harbingers using the shields on board and the nearby shields to protect themselves. Gunships offering some assistance, but there are ASFs inbound, and there was some AA in this group as well. It looks like it's going to be a win for Team 2 just by the numbers. But there are units being built all the time, mainly those asylums, trying to keep the Harmagers, the offensive units, alive as much as possible, but they are being whittled away at a decent rate, pausing and unpausing there. Stops the replay ever so slightly, and now the bricks move in and try to isolate that frontline position. Are they going to take the radar out? One shot would do it from a brick. Will they do it? Yes or no? Nuke launching 22 minutes. Maybe that's what Team 2 was using that Eco for, unless it comes from Team 1. Team 1, 1.2K versus 1.7, and Nuke is launched. Who's it going for? And it's going for, I think that's RNA's second base that he got from... no, I think it's going for his main air grid. SMD just barely got online, half loaded, but that is going to be not good for Team 2's RNA. 1.7K versus 1.2K. Great move by Zelby. He saw the vulnerability and he took it. Not a huge air grid, to be fair, but still, it's going to be a chunk. A couple of spy planes over here, and there goes the nuke. Kaboom! Takes out all of the air facilities. Another nuke over here from Team 1's Vis, so double nukeage. Wow, these air players went for nukes, decided to just transition. This base isn't going to feel good. That's another air grid that's not going to survive much longer. Oof. That's a mass. A lead is not looking good now. It drops to 1.6. Team 1's now at 1.3. Now it jumps to 2.0. That must be reclaim related. Possibly. Maybe it's power related. A little bit of reclaim, not too much. But yeah, that's pretty much generated mass. That is a nice little 1-2 puncher for Team 1. They definitely needed that, specifically for the air department and the eco department. There goes the nuke. It's going to land another kaboom. The SMD, surprisingly enough, took a hit but did not die. So that's going to be a huge sigh of relief here for Hank the Wing Tank. But unfortunately for Team 2, that is another air grid down. I'm going to put them severely on the back foot for air production. That's a huge win. How's the nuke loading? Not really a lot of assistance, mainly going for eco. Another nuke about to be loaded here pretty shortly. Already primed for its next target, going for another base in the east. That's Nasimka. Unfortunately, this one is going to be shot down unless the target priority is changed. Target location is changed. This SMD for LCR is progressing, but not really assisted. That would be a better base to go after. Looks like Hank the Wingstink's going to drop his comm in the water and call it a day, just to make sure he is protected. We did have that monkey over here kind of just, I think, blaze through this position. There's that monkey up here. Chicken as well here for RNA. Colossus. That chicken is going to die. The chicken probably should just hug that monkey at this point. The monkey actually might survive the initial engagement, and yes, it does. The Colossus will not kill the monkey, but the Whalers will catch up to it. Ion Storm not going to help out that much. That nuke is outbound going for Nasimka's base. It will get shot down, very unfortunately. But again, 2 out of 3 is definitely a good average, especially for nukes. And there goes that Colossus. It might survive. It's going to be close for sure. It does drop into the red. It hasn't got second veterancy yet, but it's close. 10,000 hit points. No, it's going to be... It was close, but if the chicken moved a little bit further in, that would have been enough. A nice little smiley face, I might add. And at 25 minutes on the clock, Team 1, Team 2, only one casualty between the two, and that is chicken from Team 2. It's a 5v4 game. Team 1 was definitely on the back foot for mass income. Now they're in the lead just barely. 1.6 versus 1.5K. Team 2 suffered hugely at the hands of 2 nukes. I mean, air grid gone here, air grid gone here, rebuilding as we speak for both of those teams. And that was just a huge win here for Team 1. They definitely needed that. Let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. Of course, if you haven't done so already, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do all those wonderful YouTube things that, YouTube loves to see. So this video gets, and everything else gets promoted more and more. And thank you so much for watching. And of course, why not watch till the end? Because you've already watched pretty much halfway through, so might as well watch till the end of the video. Team 1, 3 comms hiding in the water. 2 of them right next to each other. One of them definitely can be spotted because Roe is building some defenses nearby, which isn't a bad idea, but any spy plane that flies over going to be like, why are there a bunch of TMD right here? That's kind of weird. They probably assume there's at least one comm over there. And there's a lot of engineers assisting Vist. If those don't move, Team 2 is going to know that as well. Nuke is once again almost loaded here for him. Nuke halfway loaded to another one. That'll be his third nuke for Zelby. He's killed off 56,000 mass. This nuke to the east killed off 81,000. So that's really, really good nukes. Definitely, obviously, a better one for Vist, but still really good nukes for the both of them. And now Team 2 is just trying to recover. The land fight, besides the one in the west, kind of just dies out. No attacks in the east, though, very surprisingly. Both of these players building wall sections to kind of just deter that. Doesn't mean that they can't go through the walls. They just have to take some time to just wipe those sections out to walk on through. There is a nice little Crab and Colossus little conversation going on over here next to Nasimka's main production facility over here with a bunch of SMDs now. Bunch being one, I should say, and then a bunch of Harbingers being built. We do see Nasimka's comm is over here. Not shielded. Definitely not the best idea. But he's going to get targeted directly. He's got to move. He's going to be a dead commander if he doesn't move. I don't know if Team 1 just saw him or not, but he's going to move and get out of there. He's going to loop kind of around this cliff edge here. And he should be fine. He moved pretty much when that nuke got, to its, not terminal velocity, but it's like altitude that it normally goes to. So he should be fine. He may get singed a little bit. He does have 8,000 hit points in shield and his whole hit points as well at 13,000. His transport's going to get taken out. That probably would have been a lot easier to have him get carried across the map. There goes Kaboom. Takes out the transport, takes out a couple of engineers. Nothing really worrisome with that. And yeah, he's perfectly fine. Transport does end up being gifted over to him by his teammate and then be able to get out of there. There was one next door. I don't know why he just didn't use that one, but whatever. T3 coming online here for television. He has RAS on board, and artillery has been built by Team 2's RNA. It is the emissary. He's building the shield now. Don't like that he built the shield now. Should have built the shield before, but at least he's going for it now instead of later kind of thing. There's a gunship hanging out, going after some random interceptors here above this chicken. And there are some spy planes that are going to spot that artillery emplacement. What is he going for? Looks like he's going for the air grid for Row. And looks like he's going to be able to punch through the rest of the shielding. Another artillery shield at 2, and that air grid is not going to feel good here shortly. Telemeter builds another experimental. He has a crab online already. He has another crab. I think he just built that one. So he has 2 crabs moving on this western side. And still no real efforts to attack on the edges of the map for land. Mainly just down the middle. I mean, partly probably just because it's a narrow environment. But once you get past essentially this point in the middle, it's kind of, you can fan out a lot better. But maybe they just don't want to take the risk of going all the way around instead of a straight shot down the middle. In the southeast, anything spicy going on here for Simka? No, just another Colossus. In this base, what do we see? Nothing too much. Nothing too much here for Hank the Wayne Tank as well. But still, the main thing for Team 2 is that artillery emplacement. Do they have enough new coverage? Not really. I'd like to see at least one more. Maybe like kind of over here to the west a little bit. I like how there's just a random mass fab right here. Just hanging out. No idea why. In the for Nasimka, another nuke outbound here for Zelby. I think that's his 3rd nuke. And then the nuke was actually reclaimed over here. Very interestingly, it looks like they're putting it towards the artillery emplacement. Very, very interesting. That nuke is outbound. Didn't really see where it's going. Looks like it's going for this base. There was an SMD built. It is not loaded in time, and it is going to go offline. Obviously, not a huge loss for Nasimka, but it will increase travel time for units, as well as, of course, not being able to build experimentals on the front line. And there he goes. Kaboom! Takes out tons of engineers. Takes out the SMD, most importantly. And there goes that position. How much does a nuke kill off? Oh, decent. I think it was like 35-something thousand. So definitely a good nuke there. Shield heavy is being built on Nasimka's commander. And now we're kind of just in that now what do players do kind of mode of what do they go for. 30 minutes are now been passed. 1 artillery is the only thing online for Team 2. Team 1 has a nuke and soon to be artillery. I don't see anything else for Team 1. Looks like more shields protect the rest of the air grid that got cut in half. Looks like there's a Yolana Os being built. Love to see that here from these players. And that's going to take a little bit to build, of course. If Team 2 spots it, That's going to be a dead YOLO, but we'll see if Team 2 scouts enough to see that. Looks like Nano Repair has been built on LCR's commander. Looks like he just wants to make sure he can regen. He's building his own artillery emplacement, the Disruptor from the Cybern faction. We will not see the Duke. We will not see the Maver, of course. Very, very sad. But there are no satellites for those that don't like satellites. There are no satellites in this game. So that is a benefit and a curse for not having UEF in this game. A couple of bricks here in the water just kind of hanging out. Looks like they're going to hook east. There's not that much PD coverage, so that T3 mechs and probably that T3 mechs will be taken up. But there is a couple of whalers, so that is something. Whalers immediately called in to intercept those, so they'll probably deal with most of the damage before they get very far northward, and there are ASFs coming in to shield said gunships. There is a missile inbound going for these TMDs, and it actually breaks through the TMDs, surprisingly enough. It isn't grabbed by the volcanoes, very surprisingly. You would think that it would shoot out one of those flares, but maybe they're offline? I don't really know what that's about. Where's the... they already see, they look very similar. I wish they had a little bit different design. I mean, it's barely a different design, but like looking at it very quickly, it's kind of hard to tell, especially with the icon sitting on top of it. But yeah, why aren't those the TMDs taking out the missile? It's very strange. Anyway, ASF fight possibly brewing. There is a land fight inbound. Couple of crabs versus a chicken and a colossus. The chicken's job at this point probably should just steamroll straight into that one of those two chickens and not chickens, one of those two crabs, and just call it a day. Is that T3 artillery fire landing at that land army? Is that what I just saw? That's what it looked like. Nope, it is. There is T3 artillery fire landing on that set of experimentals, and it's going to take out a couple of crabs, a couple of bricks. Bricks are inbound. Chicken is almost dead, so that plan to hug the crabs does not work. It will get a decent amount of the bricks if the bricks don't stop moving, and the bricks do stop moving, but T3 artillery landing in a land army, don't really agree with that, but that's neither here nor there. That's just due to the fact that it's really hard to target moving targets, or hit moving targets, especially with someone that has to traverse half, a third, the entire map, that sort of thing. Artillery is now done for Team 1's Vist, going for a second one. Nuke still being loaded, killed off 93,000 mass in total. Lots of e-storages up here for a lot of people, just to make sure they have some reserves. Lots of torp launchers over here for Vist. Nah, I mean, it's passive protection just in case Teleporter Com comes in with some plans to go for the torp play, but don't really... it's nice to have, but it kind of goes like, hey, there's something in the water here. Unless he builds it and then moves out and offers a distraction kind of thing. That'd be a good idea. But then it deters teleports anyways, because there's... if it's been scouted, they will see the torp launchers anyway. So it's kind of this, you know, catch-22 of... yeah, you want to have protection, but because you put protection there, they're not going to teleport there. So it is a deterrent, but then you could use it as a distraction play, but you can't because you've already told them that something valuable could be here. But you have protection. And anyway, I'm just kind of going down the rabbit hole. One crab taken up by artillery fire, so that's kind of nice for Team 2. But there's another crab inbound. They went east or southeast or south instead of west. Colossus got taken out. Okay, obviously, we saw the chicken got taken out. Air fight does occur. Team 2 will win the fight. And they take out a huge host of ASFs for Team 1. Colossus is not nearby, but Nasimka's nearby. That crab has now targeted Nasimka's commander. He's over here now instead of on the eastern side where his base is. That is a dead comm is what that is. There he goes. Kills off some friendly bombers as well with that AoE explosion. That is a kill here for Team 1. It's a 5v3 in favor of Team 2. Land fight starting to materialize, but there are two crabs plus defenses being brought online and a nice little quantum gateway producing some SACUs very far forward, but that also means that travel time is cut quite considerably if you went for the Rambo preset. And here comes the attack straight down the middle. There is a crab for defense. There's another crab over here. Team 2 trying to just keep Team 1 at bay at this point. They were doing decently well. Essentially, once those two nukes happened, they kind of got in disarray. And there goes an SMD. It's going to go down. That nuke is going to fly. That crab is going to go down. There's another SMD right here, not even loaded, so it's not going to help. And with the two crabs they're targeting, the one crab from Team 1, they'll take that out. And then with that, there's enough bricks here to probably take out one of the two crabs, but probably not enough. especially because they're focused on other things. And there's another crab here for Team 2's Hank the Wing Tank. But his base not feeling good, and he's not going to be operational for a while. Team 1, 2.2K. Team 2, 1.9K. There's not really a lot of mass. I mean, there is a decent differential, especially at this point, but it's not a huge percentage ahead like it was earlier on when it was, 1,300 to 1,000 versus 2,200 to 1,900. This crab is not going to feel good. This crab did get taken out. This crab intercept, and this Colossus coming in to assist. But I don't know what Team 2 does at this point. There is an emissary that's still been firing the entire time. There's a disruptor that's almost halfway done. And there's another artillery being built. Actually, it's the salvation for Hank the Wing Tank. Looks like he got everything that Nasimka had. He also has a nuke available to him. That's loaded, ready to go. So Nasimka was prepping for the end game for sure. There's a couple of experimentals over here. That one gets taken out. Two of them get taken out here for Team 1. And Gamer 9, hold on. Gamer 9 control case. Hold on. Where's his comm? It looks like it is a departure. It's not going to be a PGen explosion or anything. Don't know why he left. Maybe he just had to go to bed or something. These players like to play late or early in the morning or whatever time of the day, or play like 8 match. Just they like to play a lot. So maybe it was just had to go or something. No reason for that. It's a 4v3 now. I always hate it when it's a external issue that causes somebody to quit or lose connection or whatever. But it does happen. Life happens and whatnot. But everything transferred over to, looks like, so he was sitting in the middle. So it looks like it was transferred over to Zelby. It looks like this is his main core mass, and this is him down here as well. The Yolana Os, looks like it's actually slowed its construction. Actually stopped for the time being. Lots of PD going to be built. More shields. Love to see that, but you got to at least slowly build it at a minimum. I mean, it's good to get more shields, but you got to essentially a little bit for production just to kind of keep the progress going, even if it's 1 or 2 engineers at a time. There were 2 crabs that did make a play, but there's a bunch of bombers overhead, so that's not really going to go well one way or the other. Artillery lands, takes out a PGen. Looks like there's 2 artilleries. Oh, there goes the artillery for LCR. That's gotta hurt. There are 2 artilleries online for this. Third one has been started, already half done. He's sitting on a huge advantage here. 2 artilleries plus the third, plus a teammate with a nuke. That's going to have 2 nukes here loaded here shortly. Artillery now landing at the Yolana Os position, so it looks like Team 2 has spotted that. Oh yeah, they spot it. They have an eye on it. But again, not really any sort of focus on producing it. It may just be used as just a distraction at this point. Nice little, hey, we're building a thing. Hey, look over here. I'm Mr. Mises. Look at me. And then there's 3 artillery over here kind of thing. It is a chunk of mass to spend for it. But if it wins you the game, I think most players would say if you have to spend 50, 100, 200,000 mass to secure the win, that's not a bad thing. I don't think it's, 200 mass is probably a bad thing, but maybe 100,000 mass isn't that bad. Again, just throwing ideas out. Artillery looks like it's being reclaimed at this point. Artillery is inbound. Oh, right on top of that salvation. There it goes. Nuke is outbound from Team 1 once again. Oh, yeah, once again, and there should be another one loaded in there. There's about to be one loaded in there. Is SMD coverage here? No. But it looks like it's going to land on a bunch of reclaim, it looks like. So not really a huge loss, except if you count the loss in reclaim. Currently sitting at 183,000 mass on the field, most of it on Team 2. The Simca back, talking about back up those experimentals, but he's getting it. Here comes the nuke. It's going to land. It's going to land in the middle of that reclaim field. That's going to probably hurt that crab wreck. Almost all of it is gone. It mainly just slows down the engineer reclaim operation, not necessarily stops it entirely just because there's the horde of engineers online. But kaboom, nonetheless. It's still a kaboom. A nuke kills off, 15 plus thousand mass, 20,000 mass. That's definitely worth it, even if it's still reclaimed. Still the only artillery online here for Team 2. Looks like he's building a YOLO. Scratch that. We are going to see possibly a YOLO finish. That might be the thing that saves Team 2. if Team 1 doesn't spot it in time, which they don't know about it. They know about the stealth field, but that's it. That's going to be very, very big. That might be the thing that brings Team 2 back in this game. It needs adequate SMD coverage, which it does have. One over there, so that'll overlap and protect the YOLO. There's another one over here. I don't know what the range...
Commander under attack.
Yeah, a little bit, but not much. There are some bricks in the water down here. So Team 1's Telemazer gets bricks down there. I don't know how they got there, but they got there. Possibly a transport all the way around the edge of the map, maybe? Is there a dead transport somewhere? There's a couple of bricks over here. There's more bricks over there. Nuke lands. Kaboom! Takes out more units, but not really a huge issue there. Some of the experimentals looks like they got singed a little bit, but nothing too bad. Yeah, I don't know how they got down there. It must have been a transport. That's the only thing I can think of. The base for Simca not feeling well. The nuke launcher, the standard one, is now offline. Now there's no threat to Team 2 from this base, besides just, of course, from Team 2 for Team 1, besides just, of course, the base just existing. A couple of bricks over here, just annoying LCR. There it is. T4 Game Ender is online. Is it the game-winning move? Is it not? Save SMD, says Nasimka. While we're talking about the Eastern base. That is going to be the thing that may bring Team 2 back in the game or may seal their fate one way or the other. It's going to be a thing. Does Team 1 know about it now? No, they know. Oh, no, they see it. They see the purple dot. They see it. They know it exists. They just have to hover over it. It hasn't been stuck with a little text bubble icon thingamajig. I feel like the first target for Team 2 to go after is going to be that artillery, specifically due to the fact there's an SMD here and an SMD here, and that's it. This SMD is too far away. I'll even check the range on it. Oh, yeah, too far away. So if they can take out the 3 artilleries, that'll give them a lot of time, a lot of breathing room. There goes the YOLO. Is it going for the thing that I said that they should go for? I don't know. It's not giving me a little line of attack, but we'll see based on the trajectory if it goes to the other side of the map. And it looks like it's actually going for... it's going more... maybe. It almost looks like it's trying to split the difference between the two bases, but I highly doubt that's the case. So there goes the YOLO. It is inbound. Second YOLO should be halfway done by now. Oh, yeah, halfway done already. Artillery landing looks like at this huge hive base that has this SMD that is going to go down. And a couple of ASFs get hit as well. That's never a good sign. Will they build a shield in time? Yes, they will. Nice job from the hives. Now they're upgrading. Looks like all the hives as well. Just to get them all fancy and whatnot. Artillery... Is it landing at the position now? Looks like it's landing over here. SMD, SMD. So there's still SMD coverage for the east. SMD coverage down here. Another nuke is outbound. Oh, okay, there's the attack order. Boom, 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 boom. So, yeah, going for those 4 artillery pieces that have now started to spring up. At least the 4th one has. That is the Salvation. Still has not built a Paragon to build that, but, you know. If you have mass to spend, might as well. How's the YOLO over here? Well, it's halfway done. And the artillery's just been poking at it for a while. Ooh, it's going to turn things around here if the YOLO stays online for much longer. This SMD has... Oh, it has 1. And it just fired... It barely fired that second one. Somehow I didn't fire it fast enough, but that one's now empty. These are now being built. More of them being built all the time. These guys trying to run away. Don't know if they have enough. There's 0 loaded in this one. There's another one launched. It should be probably this one or the next one that will break through. RNA in the corner, of course. He has his bomber coming online here shortly. Team 1, I mean, there's no getting through with a land situation for now. They need to take out that YOLO. They know where, I mean, at least in my point of view, they can see it. They know where it is. They're just not... They have 3 artillery pieces, and they're not launching the artillery at the target. Is the artillery out of range? The artillery can't be out of range. I mean, it can be. That is rough. The T3 artillery is out of range of the YOLO. No wonder he's building the Salvation. Oh, that is rough. That is the downside with an almost 20 by 20 is the artillery can be out of range. And what's funny is this YOLO is in range of this artillery, but this YOLO is not. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. There goes the YOLO. He control K's everything. Doesn't want to give RNA the satisfaction. Kaboom! But I'll still count that as a kill. Telemazer control K's. He's out of the game. He's like, I'm done. Game is over. Or at least he's probably what he's thinking. That is not great for Team 1. They lose an entire base over here and the comm of Telemazer. Not wanting to give that YOLO credit. Definitely unfortunate, of course, but it did get 17,000 mass killed anyway, so that's something. Would have gotten a heck of a lot more. Hey, to be fair, though, there are some SMDs that are still alive, but everything that was valuable over here is now gone. Looks like the comm's going to hide underneath a ton of SMD coverage. Looks like that one's loaded. That one's going to be loaded here shortly, so Zelby will be fine for the time being. Has one over there. One over there. Still has a nuke. But it now comes Tan Team 1 break through the shielding and actually not shielding, the SMD coverage of Team 2. And at this point, I don't think so. So RNA might just get the MVP. Wow, I can't talk today. Might not just get the MVP award for me, but that was the game-winning move right there. Scathis, Orange says... oh, yeah. Does it say build Scathis? Start? Huh, interesting. He says start the Scathis. I mean, he has a decent amount of SACUs, but... I mean, I feel like you could just load the nuke a lot better, or a lot faster, I should say. Not a lot better, but faster. I guess there's a lot of engineers already around it, so it'd be kind of hard to get in there and deal with that. But there goes the YOLO once again. At this point, there's really no hope for Team 1 to come back in this game. Had they built the YOLO sooner, maybe... that would have been a kind of seal their fate kind of move, but SMDs, are you loaded? No and no. There's an SMD over here. That one is just built. This one's over here. This one has one loaded. So if another one gets loaded, it'll save against that nuke, but I don't think there's much in the way that Team 1 can do at this point. Decent shield coverage, of course, but that's not going to save against the nuke. It'll pierce the shielding quite nicely. Not a good thing for Team 1. Oh, it does get shot down. Look at that. There must have been another SMD somewhere that I must have missed, or must have been another one loaded. Trap bombers over here. That's not going to crack the shielding. Tons of SMD coverage over here for Vis, though, that Telemazer built. And at this point, that's another YOLO. No, that's a regular nuke, excuse me. Inbound going for this position. This SMD has 5 loaded, so no, it's not going to go down. And another counter nuke inbound from Team 2. I think at this point I can speed things up just a little bit because we know what direction this game is going at this point. 45 minutes on the clock. Team 2 is going to win this unless something catastrophic happens. More shield coverage being built. Love to see it. Scathis almost done, I might add. So that's something. I mean, they probably could have built T3 artillery. I mean, they definitely could have built it faster, but it's nice to have another experimental. Ooh, there goes nice little cascade. 2 SMDs fire at the last moment. What I mean by cascade is a bunch of engineers died. So, not a good thing. This SMD. Oh, not going well. Shield's going down. Just one artillery shot is enough. It's going to take out. It's going to be close. Nuke's going to land. A little bit to the west. There goes the YOLO. The YOLO for Team 1 finishes. But unfortunately for Rowe, it is not enough. Very unfortunate. I don't even think it fired its first YOLO missile. Very, very unfortunate. Ooh. That is a YOLO kill. That is a comm kill. And that is a nuke winning move. How much mass? 366,000 mass killed with that one nuke. And of course, kaboom! Another nuke inbound just for added measure. And then Vis control K's leaving Zelby, the last remaining player on Team 1. And at this point, I'm assuming he's going to control K as well. That's kind of... there's really no coming back from that. And it does look like he just said, nope, I'm done. See you, bye. And Team 2 wins the game. Hank the Wink Tank says, unreal game. Definitely unreal. Had Team 1 targeted the YOLO sooner, that would have been nice. But, of course, the issue was they couldn't have targeted sooner because it was out of range. So that is a huge move by RNA. Maybe he did it on purpose. Maybe he did it by accident. But recognizing that the artillery from Team 1's Vist was out of range for his YOLO, built it far enough back, which is always the smart move to do anyways, but built it out of range, couldn't target it, and it was just wait, fire, and then that was it. MVP, like I said, goes to RNA. He built the YOLO. He built an artillery. It kind of helped kind of poke and prod at Team 1 a little bit, but the YOLO was the game-winning move. And Team 2 was in the lead for mass for a while, and then they suffered 2 catastrophic hits. I mean, one on RNA's air grid and one on Hank the Wank Tank's air grid. Both of them just gut punches, essentially. Oh, look, the Scathis was almost done. Hank's like, you couldn't have just waited like 10 more seconds and could have built that thing. But anyways, that is the game here, folks. 46 minutes and 52 seconds on the clock here. Let me know down in the comments who you would pick for MVP and any sort of comments about the game. Thank you so very much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. And I will see all of you in the next one.